Good job. We want you to video. That's already recording?
Yeah. I want to teach everybody a Ojibwe word really quick, okay?
Okay.
All right, Big John.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Bouge.
Bonjour. Bonjour.
Bonjour. That means hello in Ojibwe. All right, where are you, Justin? All right.
Bonjour.
There's Justin.
All right, Justin.
Woo! Woo!
If this is the wrong place, I quit. I'll explain that in a minute. My name is Justin Miller, and there are two things you should know about me. Number one, I have a visual impairment. And number two, I also suffer from a social impairment called generic name syndrome. The symptoms of generic name syndrome include being asked if I'm related to every Miller in town, and 9 times out of 10, my answer is no. Sometimes my answer is, hey, who are you, and what the hell are you doing laying on my front lawn? And other times my answer is, what did he or she do? And this answer is usually followed by a sprint. I guess I should explain what I meant when I said, if this is the wrong place, I quit. Being someone with a visual impairment, every time I go somewhere, it's like a hamster going through a maze for the first time. But you know, having a visual impairment really isn't all that bad. I mean, the worst thing about it is I'm not able to drive. But considering how bad Thunder Bay drivers are, I don't think I want to. Do you guys know we have an improper turn named after us? Yeah, the Thunder Bay turn. Does anyone know what a Thunder Bay turn is?
No.
Alright, well, a Thunder Bay turn is when you have 2 lanes open and you should go into the nearest lane, but instead you cut into the furthest one, resulting in cutting off the nearest motorist. Now, how many of you are guilty of doing that? Alright! Great response. Another upside about being visually impaired, the sex is incredible. I don't even have to worry about the paper bag. I've already got that covered. Although there are times when my visual impairment gets me in trouble. One that comes to mind is that old commercial for Kids Help Phone. You know, the one where the kid's looking at the, or being bullied rather, and then the cell phone pops up with the kid's cell phone information on it. The first thing I thought when I saw that, this is the worst cell phone ad I've ever seen. The sad part is, that's not a joke. And I was mentioning about driving earlier. Well, I was visiting my brother in Calgary, and he actually offered to teach me how to drive. I looked at him and said, I'm telling you right now, this will not go well. He went on to say he'd take me to a parking lot where it would be impossible for me to hit anything. I looked at him and said, if there's one thing for me to hit, and only one thing, guaranteed I'll hit it. Needless to say, we didn't go driving. Also, when someone comes to pick me up and I'm unfamiliar with what their car looks like, I have to get up really close to see who's driving. Apparently, this freaks some people out. So if this happens to you, I just want you to know, I'm not trying to carjack you, I'm just trying to find my ride home. Thank you. I went on a date with a girl to the movies, and she asked me to explain my visual impairment to her. And seeing as we just finished watching the movie Avatar, I said, you know how you saw Avatar in 3D? Well, I didn't. Alright. Okay, I think I'm gonna just, stop with the self-depreciating humor for a minute.
No, it's good, it's good.
I'll get back to it,
Okay,
Well, I opened up a fortune cookie, and the fortune read, your concept of handling funds requires review. Great advice. Next time I won't order Chinese. Sadly, that's not a joke either. Alright, well, okay, I'll get back to the vision jokes by popular demand. With being who I am, I'm not able to play a lot of sports. you know, I can't play hockey or baseball because, well, let's face it, I won't see something coming, you know, if it comes directly at me, so what's the point? Knowing this, my parents decided to enroll me in mixed martial arts. You can't play baseball or hockey because they're too dangerous. I know. Let's put him in a sport where he can get punched in the face on a regular basis. See, I said that joke wrong. That's the result of taking too many punches to the head. All right, now, I just have a question for everybody, and for those of you who aren't paying attention, who's graduated from St. Ignatius High School?
I did.
All right, I got one person. Well, one thing I've always wondered is what was the city thinking when they designed that school? I mean, they put it next to a jail and a mental institution. This is how graduation goes. All right, all of you who are graduated with the red or the orange jumpsuits on the right, and all of you who graduated with white straitjackets, stand on the left. I left my straitjacket at home. Also, one thing I've always wondered, do you guys find it a bit ironic that we have a funeral chapel on Gore Street? I mean, you know, I've heard of irony, but that's just ridiculous. Alright, I'd like to throw a couple random things out at you, and I'm going to see where this goes. I once saw a picture of a woman with a tattoo of a spine going down her back, and the first thing I thought when I saw that, she must not be comfortable in her own skin. I once read an article that said if a man stares at women's breasts for 15 minutes a day, it's equal to 30 minutes of exercise for your heart. And, ladies, I hope you don't mind if I ask to get a closer look. It is for my health after all. Alright, well, that's my set, and thanks for listening.